is time for the most deep-seated things to come out, even though those are within. Those are the deep things that are within. It is amazing things to really believe in and blend in and really be understanding with the type of DMT and MDMA and LSD and psychedelics and psilocybin and ayahuasca and peyote and all those hallucinogenics and psychedelics experiences are an important part of the aspect of the worlds and the God worlds and other worlds that I've mentioned before. I didn't originally mention God worlds, but it was mentioned on Air of Light, so putting that on blast. And then, of course, with music that I wrote, I mean, you're really not supposed to listen to music. Well, or I'm not saying that you're not supposed to, but you don't have to listen to music when you're undergoing a psychedelic experience, which I definitely recommend. And even though I've never really had one, I definitely recommend it to open up the mind. And that's a very good thing. And some other things that are new is really just like the potential of culture to really transform and transition and really create and open up that part of the mind and that consciousness, the higher consciousness, and really become one with it. And Russell Brand did a very good job explaining that. And it's just, you take your emotions, or you take emotions, and then you just develop them, and you realize the importance of it, and the emotions is what separates us, or not separates us, but what emotions is what brings out, and causes, or allows us to be individuals at the same time, still bringing in those aspects which make us very great, and they stand out in a very positive way. And what I mean by that is lots of individual creative abilities tapped into, which is good. I strongly encourage it, and I definitely encourage transformation in the finest forms throughout the cosmos. I just understand it, and to say that we understand is to say that's already a science, and getting it down to a science or master alchemy or all the new types of creations nowadays, just part of the creative 8th ray, 9th ray, 10th ray, 11th ray, 12th ray, 13th ray even, 14th ray, 15th ray, 13th dimensional consciousness, 14th dimensional consciousness, 15th dimensional consciousness. I'm pretty sure this is so far a hypothesis, but from what I've inferred from my studies, the aquamarine is visible in that realm once you take DMT, or once in the dream state, we're able to tap into the aquamarine, which is the 13th, which is beyond time-space. So it's very easy to tap into, actually, and that's where higher consciousness is as. So hypothetically, if 13th is like the natural state for DMT, then that means, beings can meet us halfway. So 26, that's like 26th dimension, which is 46, which means beings that are 47th, 48th, 49th parallel, and 50th, and beyond the beyond. Those beings are actually able to easily tap into and help filter in those higher embryonic universes and tap into those energies, and we're a part of the creative source of all that is, and all those lights and geometrical shapes that's actually visible in the fourth dimension, which is definitely also tap intuable. Just making up words. Now that the fourth dimension is applicable, but we're there's the collective consciousness as well, so that's also tap intuable, which is good. And the important things to know as well is just the individual things. But I digress. Transformation is a key part of living, and that's an important part that's made in the fifth dimensional auric field realm that I'm making, and that was, is, and is to come, which is very positive. And the good thing is that, there actually really is like a strong amount of control, a strong sense of self, and a strong sense of the infinite self. And there's many different versions of reality, many different types of points and entry points. So there's so many limitlessness. But even though there is strength in materialism, like the material sons and daughters, I strongly encourage inner vision, and that will develop ascension and consciousness. I read astrology, and I just know that for certain it spoke to me so much that it draws emotions out of me. So that's good. That means I resonate with it. So it has to do with something, and so therefore we have to know that astrology does have to do with where we are in this time frame that we're living in. And so it is. With lots of love, this is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, on this evening edition of Christopher Bowen Show. Just jumping straight in with the newness that's within. Definitely this is like a new form of, like, I'm totally 100% with all the new transformations that are going on, and new formings and new laws that are being passed that have to do with psychedelics and have to do with DMT. I'm totally on board with it, and I support it because it supports small businesses, it supports eventually in turn larger businesses, and then encourages change, encourages new laws to be created, encourages more commerce, and encourages more people to actually wake up and actually develop stuff and want to develop positive things and new technologies, which is important for the future that I have in planned and store in a visionary sense, which I am in total control over, which is a very positive thing. Anyway, definitely encourage that market to increase throughout the country, and then to have it expand undersea and then overseas, and then in the skies, in the sky industries as well. And, many good things are going to happen in the result because of it. And it's good. This is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, on this evening edition of The Christopher Bowen Show, which is a culmination of the Fire of Liberty and the 3 other shows that I've created since 2016. Great culmination, great love, and great purpose. With lots of love, I love you all.